Yeah, talk to your back on the wolf pack. Talk to your back on the wolf pack.
What up, world? Man, what y'all know about that music right there, man? Every time I hear Wolfpack, man, that's what I think of, man. 90s pro wrestling fans know exactly what that is. But obviously, man, Wolfpack, I saw the Hangover Part 3. Y'all know who's in it, man. Bradley Cooper, Zach Galifianakis, Ed Helms, Justin Bartha, Ken Jeong is in it. Let me see. Heather Graham, Mike Epps, they came back. Jamie Chung came back. Jeffrey Tambor, he's been in all three movies. The loud fucker from Project X, he's in it for a little bit. John Goodman, Melissa McCarthy. I mean, that pretty much sums up the cast. It's directed by Todd Phillips, as were the previous two. I like Todd Phillips as a director. He's directed some classic comedies. Obviously, the first Hangover, Old School, Road Trip. He directed Starsky and Hutch, which I thought was dope as fuck, super underrated. And he directed Due Date, which isn't bad. I mean, it's not epic, but it's not, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's not garbage. So I mean, everybody hears Hangover 3, and the initial groan is, so who's gonna get married this time? Like, how are they gonna be hungover this time? And that's not really what happens, man. It's um, you've seen the previews. Jeffrey Tambor passes away. His character passes away. Alan, Zach Galifianakis, is off his rocker, off his medication, and they're trying to help him, and he he's on his way to get his help, and then they get ambushed. You know what I'm saying? By, you've seen the previews, the dudes in the pig mask, and basically Chow did some dirt like he always does, and the Wolfpack get put in the position of trying to straighten shit out, and then hilarity is supposed to ensue from there. Um, I don't know how to say this shit. Like, I like this movie, but it wasn't that funny. I mean, hour 40, hour 45 minute long movie, and I laughed a couple times. Um, I walked out of The Hangover 2 and I thought it was funny as hell. Like, if y'all go back 2 years worth of my videos, the Hangover Part 2 was like the fourth movie that I had ever reviewed, and I reviewed that shit being hilarious. I watch it now and I think it's The Hangover Part 1 in Bangkok, with Chow being way more annoying and obnoxious. And that was my fear for The Hangover 3, but Chow, Ken Jeong, like, he wasn't as obnoxious. He was more serious, as was the entire movie. He was more grimy. He was more dirty. He was more international villain. Um and like, that worked. Like, the story worked. The way that it wrapped everything up, the way that it revisited portions of the first two movies, you know what I'm saying, like, intertwined everything. John Goodman, he is kind of like the Paul Giamatti of this movie. I mean, shout out to my man Justin Bartha though, Doug, White Doug. Like, all three Hangover movies combined are probably like 5 hours. This dude's been in all three Hangover movies like probably 20 minutes and still gets paid. The acting was good, man. Shout out my man Mike Epps from Indianapolis, man. He came back in this movie, and the parts he was in, I mean, he got a laugh or two out of me. Bradley Cooper, he like, man, no matter what he does, man, Silver Lining Playbook, drama, the A Team, action. He's an asshole in Wedding Crashers. He's in this. I mean, his acting is always good. Ed Helms was good. Like, Ed Helms always has to be like the voice of reason. Like, this is crazy, don't do this. but ends up getting pulled into the madness. Man, Galifianakis, man, he was so funny, man. Obviously, in the first movie, he stole the show. Nobody knew who he was in the Hangover one, and his delivery, his demeanor, his he damn near played Alan perfect in the first movie. And then in part two, he don't like Alan was mentally dumber. And in this movie, he's more serious and a little more of a go-getter, but he still fucks up. And he portrayed the character different in all three movies, and I don't like that. Other than that, I mean, that's really all I got to say for the plot and for the acting. And like I said, it was cool how it was like a circle of life type. It started in Vegas, it ended in Vegas. Melissa McCarthy, I mean, she's funny as fuck. She got a couple laughs. I mean, so like I said, man, it's good story wise, but it's supposed to be a comedy, and it's not that funny for fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that funny. So I wanted it to be dope. In my opinion, man, The Hangover Part III, it's straight. I hate to be tough on it, but I mean, that's just like how far I've come as a reviewer in 2 years. If I had my rating system intact when I first started, I probably would have said Hangover 2 was diggity dope. Hangover 2 is straight. Hangover 3 is straight. Hangover 1 is diggity dope, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause it was just a breath of fresh air, and it was what like the comedy genre needed 4 years ago. So I mean, with that being said, like, I'm in the movies all this weekend. I'm Fast and Furious 6 tomorrow, Epic on Saturday. I don't have any raps on deck, but I'm gonna try to cook up one or two. I think Ludacris has a mixtape out tomorrow, and I'm gonna review that eventually. I want to know. I don't want to know what your favorite Hangover is. I want y'all to rank them, comment, and rank the Hangover movies. Me, I say 1, 3, 2. If you say 1, 2, 3, let me know. If you say 3, 1, 2. If you say 2, you know what I'm saying. Whatever, however you feel that this should have been. And stay through the credits. Peace.
Don't turn your back on the wolf pack. Don't turn your back on the wolf pack. You might wind up in a body bag.